Amen. So we want to speak just for a little minute, for a few minutes, when your rainbow speaks. When your rainbow speaks. Amen. 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 I know we've got a lot of intelligent folks in here, and it may seem to you that this title or this theme doesn't make any sense at all. How does a rainbow speak? Amen. I guarantee you, if you give me your attention, and matter of fact, if you pay attention, that's right. Amen, you're going to see where the Lord is carrying us. Amen. First of all, I need for you to understand that was a purpose for the rainbow. Amen. God set it in place for a purpose. Amen. It also was a purpose for himself. That every time he would see it, that it would remind him that this world will never end again because of water. Right. Somebody need to say amen. 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 The rainbow is the reflection of the beams of the sun. Amen. You see, in verse 13, it does say that my bow in the cloud. The same rainbow where it's generated from because of the sun's reflection within the cloud is also the same cloud that starts our storm. Y'all not catching yet? Where it generated at. What caused your storm to brew up in the first place? God said, I can use that same place and allow a rainbow to generate from where your storm started. Somebody just say amen. It might because your child messed up so much, it caused a storm to brew up. But God said, my reflection on that same nappy-head child can cause something good to come from it. Oh, help me. Amen. The rainbow was a covenant, a promise, an agreement that he would not destroy this world again because of it. Amen. If you realize that every now and then you will see the glimpse of a rainbow during the storm. Before the storm is complete, that while it's still raining sometimes, you can look up toward the heavens and you can start seeing a little bit of a rainbow. Now, sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when I see a rainbow, sometimes the colors look kind of dull, but it's still a rainbow. But then there's another time that I can look toward the heavens and see the rainbow. The colors are more vibrant and it's more brighter. It bothered me and it was messing with my mind. How come a rainbow shade is different from one day to another day? I found out that the brighter the colors is rougher the storm. Rougher my storm that I've been through is the brightness of my rainbow after my storm. Somebody to say amen. So when does a rainbow speak? Look at your neighbor and say, we're going to hear when the rainbow speaks. It's after your storm. Oh, Lord. Come on, help me, Holy Ghost. Now, I need to help somebody, and I laid before God and kept asking, okay, Lord, give me some clarity. Before I can give my people clarity, you got to give me some clarity. What is the purpose of this? Let me know that we all going through some storms. There's some of us has a storm that met us in January. And that same storm have showed its face and got a little bit stronger here in December. But God told me to tell somebody, this rainbow is about to speak to you. And the only time the rainbow speaks is after that storm that mismatched you in January. Almost made you lose your mind in June. Now, you thought you had it under control in August, but here it is still showing its face in December. But God said, set me back here this morning to let somebody know a rainbow. Your storm is getting in check now. Because the rainbow is about to show its face. It's a reflection from the sun. So that means that this storm that I've been through all year long, some of the little small storms you had to control yourself. How come I can control some of my storms? Then how come I can't control some of my storms? Some storm is not for you to control. It's for you have to depend on God. When you can control all your storms, you don't need to pray to God. You got to pray to God when you can't control your storm. Somebody need to say amen. Little small storm that you can not, well, if I stop doing this, I can control it. If I stop doing that, I can control it. But sometimes you can stop doing this and you can stop doing that, but the storm still shows its face. That lets me know that I can't do it by myself. I got to have the Lord in my life. When the rainbow speaks, when the rainbow speaks. Amen, amen, amen. Now, well, if you understand this story, a lot of us know it, and the purpose of the rainbow was because of what took place before the rainbow. And then there was some foundation that shall be laid to tell us how we get to the rainbow. And a lot of y'all know it. It's one of the, it may be two stories straight from the Bible in the book of Genesis that we know something about. It's about Adam and Eve. We know something about their son, but then we know something about Noah's Ark. Somebody need to say amen. 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 It's so unique how God prepared him before the storm came. I think our job at times, Brother Strawley, is to prepare the people before the storm comes. Amen. You know, just like in the story of Noah, that Noah preached it day in and day out to let folks know that it's going to rain now. Now, I can't knock the crazy people too much because they never saw rain before. So if you feel like, well, I've never been through a storm before, but I'm here to tell you, there's a storm out on the ocean, and it's moving this way on. Help me somebody. But I need you to understand. that Noah tried to prepare the people before the storm came. He built. The way he built and where he built this big boat, this ark, was kind of crazy in any technology form that you look at. It should have been built near water. Boats and ships never be built strictly in the middle of dry land. They are built next to the ocean. So when it's complete, that it don't have much problem. They can hook a tugboat to it and pull it out on the water, but God for some reason told him to build this gigantic boat on dry ground. Somebody to say amen. I know it might seem crazy, it might don't even make much sense, but God is telling me to tell somebody that the midst of your storm, that the rainbow is going to show up because you're going to get prepared for it. How do I get prepared for it? You might think you got to turn in your main course. You got a woman at home who prepare you for a storm. Don't let every chicken head smile in your face. Oh, y'all not catching me. Y'all not catching me. Every guy that got 15 tattoos and a white beard does not mean that he's good for you. That's right. Amen. Amen. I'm prepare you. Maybe because I can give you something. I can throw a few Benjamins your way. Don't sell your soul for a piece of paper. That's right. I'm trying to prepare somebody. That's right. I'm telling you, you need to start going to the hardware store and start getting some nails and some lumber. Because prepare you for a storm. Well, Pastor, I go to church, I sing in the choir, that I work on the usher board, that I sat with Deacon Greene on the deacon board, that I sat with Mother Greene with the deaconess, and so I'm doing things that's pleasing in your sight. How do you know that? How do you know that? It's easy for us to go through the motion sometimes. Tony dip, I dip. That's going through the motion.
That's right. That's right.
I wave my hand because Tanya waved her hand. I'm going through the motion. Sometimes I got to sit by myself and reflect how far God done brought me. I had done for 6 straight months. How did I make it? And through my dumb stupor was the hand of God. And what gets us sometimes when God prepares us for a storm, what gets us sometimes? God allows you to see somebody else go through a storm. And you first thing come to your mind, it won't happen to me. Amen, amen, amen. This is crazy. I'm just saying for a little humor now. I used to always say that. I don't worry about them little young bucks. Mess with my wife. I work with them old boys. They can give security. Young boys will give you a thrill. But you get them old bucks, they give you security. I done seen why marriages, and you realize some marriages break up, started something small. That little storm, and we don't take heed to it. Oh, ain't no big deal. I don't mind my wife going to Red Lobster with him. The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. Oh, he just paying for me. I can get enough tin cans and bottles to pay for your myself. Don't let your storm start off real small. Because if it gets too big, it'll choke you out. And then what happens, don't mind, somebody don't mind. It's yours? Okay. That's from Martin's? What happens? It gets too heavy. But we feel like I got it under control. But if you don't get the stuff under control, it's going to control you. Because storms are designed to shake you up. That's just what it is. It's designed to shake you up. But Moses just kept telling, Noah just kept telling the people, it's going to rain. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it next month. It's Christmas in December. It's all right to splurge a little bit. I know December 5th will come around. I ain't worried about my name being paid. I don't care. I take care of it next month. Don't allow a thrill for a moment to be a burden for a lifetime. Amen. Check this out. Noah says it's going to rain. Get prepared for it. One of the biggest storms that's recorded in the Bible. I found out, they said, because I told you because of the storms, the darker the cloud, the brighter the rainbow. There's sometimes the Lord allows the color to be dull, and sometimes be a fiery color. On one hand, it's to remind everyone that I shall never destroy this world again because of war. But because of the fiery colors, it's to prepare you. It shall be destroyed with fire. Because of water, I can build a strong enough boat to try to contain myself and protect myself. But whatever you build, it cannot protect you from fire.
That's right. Come on, Pastor.
Let me share something with you. On my old job, we had these zinc tanks. At the time, we found out that it wasn't good for your health, but we had lead tanks that it gets temperature and furnaces that get over 1,000 degrees and different things like that. And we used to have to, when you have to handle those hot wires, we had to put these real thick gloves on, which we found out later. I had to get tested years later, asbestos gloves. But because of those gloves, they say it shall not burn you. But I'm here to tell you, even the heat from those wires still burn those asbestos gloves. Almost every week or 2 weeks, we had to replace the glove. If it was designed to not to burn, those gloves would last forever. But because of the fervency of the heat, it burned through something that did not supposed to burn. Number one, don't think Jesus Christ is coming back down again through a virgin, lie in a manger, grow up to be a man, then die on the cross for you to decide that I got to serve him. Before my storm comes to try to take me out. He did it once. He's not going to do it again.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right, Bishop.
It's up to what you receive. That you know yourself. That he took care of the storm for me. How do I get comfortable in the midst of my storm, Pastor? I'm glad you asked. Pretty stuff with you. Can I use this for me? There was a time before you could speak to God. You had to have something between you and whoever supposed to speak on your behalf. The priest will have a veil between him and you. And he's supposed to go on your behalf. Number one, well, I want pastor to go to God on my behalf. How you know this ain't the time that pastor is all upset? Going through some mess himself. You got to learn how to go through that. Tear the veil down. Speak to God yourself. Because there's a storm coming. But God is encouraging somebody. The rainbow is going to speak. In the midst of what you've been through already, you're at the brink of a new year. And there's no guarantee. The last week or 2 weeks, some of us know a lot of people had just lost their life. Wasn't able to see a brand new year. And not any one of us is guaranteed to see it. But God told me to tell you, the storm you've been fighting, I'm going to get ready to send a rainbow. All I'm telling you, that storm, God said, I'm going to put it in check. Just for you. Because the rainbow, earlier I told you, the rainbow reflection from the sun. through the cloud that generated your storm. Get yourself prepared. You know what? It ain't going to be like this. Always. Pastor, I understand what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But suppose I do see the new year, and the storm is still there. So what am I supposed to do now? I receive what you're saying about a rainbow. I understand that. It lets me know that the storm is over. So what do I do when I still know the storm is still there? Now, God said you're going to have control over your storm. If you want to take that storm, and guess what? We'll bring it all together. Guess what? You can encourage me through my storm, but you can't help me squash my storm.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You can tell me that it's going to be all right, but you can't take my storm for me.
That's right. That's right.
And put it under my feet. I got to know how to do it myself. I got to be prepared for it. Somebody need to say amen. 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 When the rainbow speaks, that's when your storm, I'm just trying to encourage somebody, your storm that you're going to deal with, I dare somebody to say, psh. The air is out of it now. It ain't as strong as you thought it was.
Thank you, Lord.
I found out that until I confront it, on my job, I was walking toward the office in the warehouse, from the warehouse. There was something in the floor. And we got this little foam type of insulation, little round thing. And from the distance I was from it, I'm walking. Is that a snake? And I can't stand it. I'm looking around. I saw a little board. That board in my hand. Snake. What in the world is snake doing out here this time of year? But the closer I got to it, I found out that it wasn't a snake. It was just a little foam insulation. See, a lot of times we get defeated because we're so far from it. The devil makes it look bigger than what it really is. Make it look like something that what it ain't. But the closer. So sometimes I might. This is the only direction for me to get to the office. Sometimes God says, come on, God. I ain't going by myself. I'm going to need the Lord to walk with me on this. And then when you find out it's not as bad as you think, God is still with you, but God will put you in the front. See, I might be scared, but he's still behind me. So you can handle it.
Yes.
After I destroy it, and it wipes me out. Where you at? Wipes me out, and I believe like I'm wiped out. The Lord's got to hold me up. Even though I took control of my storm, it wiped me out after I took control of it.
Thank you, Lord.
I don't have no more strength. But He's going to hold me up.
Yes, God.
Until more strength comes. Somebody need to say amen.
Amen.
Glory to God. Give God a hand clap somebody. The rainbow.
Thank you, God.
I know my rainbow when it comes. It's going to be some bright colors. I've been through some rough storms. Bright on my rainbow. Amen. Then it's a conclusion. It's the final chapter of my storm. When the rainbow speaks to you. Somebody need to say amen. Give God a hand.